Pentagon officials say China is on track to challenge the U.S. as the world's top superpower, largely by accelerating its nuclear expansion.
They estimate China will possess 1,500 nuclear weapons by 2035. The Pentagon published these findings in a report for Congress released publicly this week. Officials found China conducted more ballistic missile tests last year than the rest of the world combined.
Joining us now is Raymond Kuo. He's a political scientist for the RAND Corporation, a nonprofit that offers research and analysis to the U.S. Armed Forces. Raymond, thanks for being with us to discuss this topic. I just want to get from you, first of all, how concerning this number is, almost 1,500 nuclear weapons may be in terms of U.S.-China relations and perhaps China-Taiwan relations, since that seems to be one of the most contentious kind of geopolitical issues between these two countries.
Sure thing. Well, thank you so much for having me. The U.S. should be concerned by these missile developments, but not necessarily alarmed, because China wants parity with the United States. It wants to be considered a leading superpower, and missiles are part of that task, and they're working hard for it. We've identified in the United States China as our primary strategic competitor, but it's important to remember that we actually have vastly more nuclear warheads than they do, almost 10 times more. I think they have 400 and we've got about 3,800. And if we were to strike them with a nuclear attack, there's a good chance their weapons get wiped out. So China wants to make sure that they have enough weapons to strike back if a war comes. Now, I get it, this is kind of scary, but it's important to remember we've been here before. We did it with Russia during the Cold War. China's trying to create a condition of mutually assured destruction, where if one country launches, then they're going to be able to launch as well, creating this sort of mutual suicide. But important to this is to remember that nuclear weapons are fundamentally defensive weapons.
Right.
They're used as a last resort of an attack on your homeland. So the Chinese are building up, but they're doing this in a defensive mindset. They want to create parity with the United States so that it's harder for us to coerce them and kind of getting themselves up to be in the same league as us.
So no doubt, Raymond, the Chinese government officials are fully aware of this Pentagon report. How are officials in China responding to it?
I mean, I think their policy is going to be the same as they always have. This has been a long-term modernization process for their nuclear forces. The fact that this report comes out is not really going to change the way that China views its nuclear weapons, its policies and its strategies. Well, specifically with regard to Taiwan, most experts on Taiwan do not think that China will use a nuclear weapon in any sort of conflict there. You know, China wants to control the island. It doesn't want a nuclear wasteland. And so, you know, for a specific Taiwan-China conflict, these nuclear developments kind of don't matter. It's more of a concern with the United States because it's going to be harder for us to coerce them to get them to do what they want because they'll have a more effective nuclear shield.
So the phrase you've mentioned that really jumps out at me is that, look, nukes are all about mutually assured destruction. So now that we have that kind of set to the side, how does the fact that China is facing its most widespread public opposition in decades, likely since the Tiananmen Square incident, play into the mentality of President Xi and his priorities right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to tell. The protests are, these sorts of protests or even, revolutions always come as a shock. Unfortunately, the Chinese government has lots of experience in repressing protests. We're seeing some loosening of COVID restrictions, but also a simultaneous crackdown on those protesters. And so I would expect, A, that there are going to be more crackdowns if the protests continue. And it's only if we see a significant change in the Chinese government, if the protesters are somehow able to remove Xi Jinping, and I'm not sure how that would happen, only then would we actually see a change in China's global strategy. But until that time, I don't necessarily think that these protests have much of an impact on, say, Chinese nuclear strategy. They are focusing Xi Jinping's attention on his domestic politics and maybe not focusing as much on the foreign policy.
It is striking, though, to see those images of domestic unrest out of China, where you saw just a moment ago people holding up those blank pieces of paper.
That's right.
Right, symbolizing what they say is the censorship that that has been taking place in that country. We'll continue to watch it all. Raymond Kuo. Raymond, thank you very much.
Thank you, Raymond.
Thank you for having me.